What's up, everybody? So, I wanted to take this time to make some sense out of this before I, you know, gotta get on the phone um, and talk to some parents. Uh, so, the question on the table is, why does crazy stuff keep happening to Duke? All right, and I want to answer that question because I think it's a good question. I live a very extreme life. I always have. All right, that's the first thing. Um, I live a very extreme life. I take ministry very seriously. Many of you guys saw me really get amped up last night. When I get that military zone, it's different. But I did mean everything that I say. Um, right here in this station, in this radio station, I've had people, I've had victims who've survived sex trafficking, and then they started organizations like this right here. It's, it's a Kid Warrior Foundation. You know, I've had uh, military men and brothers and sisters up here. I've had uh, people who've experienced major trauma on this show. Uh, because those of us who live extreme lives, it's not. First of all, it's not like people just running around looking for trouble. Um, However, I got to say this. I've talked to people who are ex drug dealers, and they talk about the life that they lived as drug dealers, and the running from the cops and getting barely making it home, driving home so crazily drunk, and and running into someone else, almost killing people. I've heard people from all walks of life and their stories, and a lot of people say, "Well, Duke, why does it seem like crazy stuff's always happening to you?" I want to remind everybody that it's totally different when you know like I have coming soon Jesus on my car. So a lot of drama happens genuinely because of the fact that, you know, I do kind of put myself out there as a target. Like, for example, the kids, they get harassed pretty much every day because someone has something to say. Uh, or someone comes up to them and tries to convince them that there is no God. When you do full time ministry every day, you're gonna see the worst out of people pretty much more because they're targeting you. That's one thing that happens. This situation last night could have been avoided because I was on the phone and I just got off the phone, and then that's when it happened. Uh, Two things. I have to accept the fact that I'm a tad bit naive, and that's unfortunate, but it's because I genuinely love people. My initial thought when the guy asked for my phone, my initial thought was he was blowing off some steam. He was upset, blowing off some steam. He was walking, realized he walked so far, and genuinely was asking phone if he could use my phone. And I was like, sure, man. I've had nights like that before. But when God told me that the guy was gonna rob me, just so you know, the reason why I walk around with a big knife when I'm in the woods is because at night that's when the animals come out, and so if I need to, swing a knife or protect myself from wild animals, so that's the real reason why I had the knife. And so I also know that there's a lot of pranking going on with kids. The kids like to do these pranks. Um, and so when I first noticed that his safety was on and that he had no clip, I thought, oh, this is going to be a prank or something like that. He wants to see how I'm gonna respond. This is all the stuff that's going in my head. So when I first kind of played along with it, I know he didn't expect me to know how to dismantle a gun and take a gun from somebody. So he's just like, I'm the Jesus guy. And so when I take the weapon from him, and I watch this guy just completely go to victim mode in like a split second, and I'm just like, ah, man, this is a kid. even if it was an adult, but it was like, this is a kid, maybe 17, maybe 16 years old. Like, this is a kid. I give him his gun back and say, look, man, next time, you know, make sure it's loaded. This poor guy, man. He's about to get in so much trouble. Anyway, so all of a sudden his friends come speeding down the street and they surround the car and they surround the car and then I get out of the car and it listen, I can't explain to you how cool of a feeling it was to get out of the car and then it starts to thunder. And then when I shut the door, I watch them look at the car because it says coming soon Jesus on the side. And it starts pouring down raining. And I look, because I'm standing under this light. I look and I go, so-and-so? Really, bro? That's what we're doing? Is this kid, man, that I know. I'm like, really, man? And then I look at this other kid. And I'm like, dude, you too? Like I know you guys. And they're, oh, man, they're just terrified. Because they were supposed to, I guess, be intimidating me because they all had their little, guns out. And, guns just don't scare me. And so I'm like, yes, what are you guys doing? Like, do you realize I have to talk to your parents tomorrow about this? Like, you guys, and what's crazy is the other guys, when they found out I really knew who they were, they take off. And the two kids that kind of just broke down into like this, well, the one car did drive back and throw a bottle at the car, but that happened while I was on the phone with the police. But I called the police, like, you guys aren't going anywhere. But then when I saw them starting to, have their little breakdown, whatever, and I was like, just go. I told them to go. I called the police, what the car looks like. But man, I'm saying all this to say it could have been avoided, right? It could have been avoided. It could have been avoided because my mom had been telling me to stay away from the woods, stop going in the woods, stop. And I don't know. It's like nothing's gonna happen. I'm going around the woods because so these woods remind me of my backyard when I was growing up. So I like being back there because it reminds me of my backyard when I was a kid. And I guess I'm a country boy at heart. But anyway, I wanted to make the point that, and then I talked to my friend Keith. He was like, Duke, this is dumb. Like, this happening to you is dumb. This could have been avoided. And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. And I'm saying this to say, I have got to make better decisions as far as like my approach and accepting the world the way it is today. The way the world is today. Is it cool to just go in the woods? I feel like you wait your whole life to become an adult, and then you become an adult, and you can't do this because of bad guys. You can't do this because of bad guys. You can't do this because of bad guys. The bad people. That's frustrating, man. That's super frustrating. Yeah, that's super frustrating because but really, is it smart to travel by yourself these days? And I'm not talking about fear, people. I'm not talking about fear. I'm just saying, my mom, she's, first of all, she's a mom, she's always telling you, don't do this, don't do that. But where is it coming from? It's coming from a place of concern. And, she always says, stay from around that corner. Stop walking in the dark. And it's like nothing's going to happen. And then when something happens, it's like, took 3 years, but it happened. And I guess I have to accept the fact that, first of all, I want everybody to know, I years ago, accepted the drama that comes along with wearing a Coming Soon Jesus shirt every day. I'm going to meet hyper spiritual people. I'm going to meet atheists, crazy people, mean people. I'm always like, dude, it's on my car, it's on the shirt. I get, I get attacked by atheists, Hebrew Israelites. I get attacked by, Jehovah's Witnesses. Everybody wants to debate the guy that wears the Coming Soon Jesus shirts every day. It's it's an interesting life. But like I said, even my kids go through it because there's always stuff that's going on. When you wear Coming Soon, when you're doing ministry every single day, you're gonna see some weird stuff. That's just how it goes. That's just part of it. But I totally believe this one was. Sometimes you just got to know how to listen. Because I'm thinking about the fact that my mom for years have been telling me to stay from around the corner. And because nothing happened when it didn't happen, I was like, see, mom. But she never said when something was going to happen. It was that something was going to happen. And now, man, and listen, these kids that I'm talking about, they're actually good kids, man. And I know that sounds crazy, but their parents didn't raise them like this. So this is like extremely sad. This is extremely sad. But I can tell you this. God's going to get glory out of it. Because I know that when you start hanging out, listen, man, I was a kid too. But I did way dumber stuff than, most kids. Like anybody been car surfing before? I've done the car surfing thing. So my friend Keith is hilarious. He was just like, dude, like, I need you to stop. Like this dumb stuff happening. I got people sending me messages saying, Duke, it's time to take this off the car. Take the Coming Soon Jesus off the car. So let me explain something about that. That's never going to happen. Right? I'm going to add Coming Soon Yeshua, but don't think for a second I'm going to let some young people freak me out to the point where I'm going to take Coming Soon Jesus off the car. Is that an easy fix? No, because I think stuff still happened. You know what I mean? To be totally honest with you, I think stuff will happen no matter what, and that's the problem. Is that I don't back down. So, and I know that it's going to get weirder because the more and more that I talk about stuff, the more and more that I kind of show what's going on and preach the gospel, the more things I preach about that rub people the wrong way or upset people or whatever. I know that that's coming. It's persecution. There's one thing to be persecuted. It's another thing to be stupid. Sitting in a dark, wooded area in these days is just not smart. And that's tough for me because I'm like, well, am I operating in fear? No, you're operating in wisdom. That's the bottom line. You're operating in wisdom. So why does crazy stuff keep happening to Duke? One, I want you to remember that I wear the Coming Soon Jesus shirts every day. Same type of stuff like happens to the kids. People get upset. People want to, give us when we're driving, people stick up their middle finger at us and all types of weird stuff. So it kind of comes with the territory of wearing the shirts. But there's like last night. I get it. I should have listened to my mom. So I wanted to tell my mom, you were right. You're right. You told me to stay away from the corner. What really frustrates me though is that I gotta talk to these parents. You know what? I do have to talk to the parents because the kids can't be out here acting like that, doing that when they weren't raised this way, and I know that they weren't raised this way, and so I know they were freaked out when they saw me get out the car. But I'm not gonna lie, it was super cool to get out of the car and it like thunders. And then when I slam the door, it just starts pouring down, raining. That's going to be in my head forever. I'm going to see that forever. That was just awesome to see. That was just awesome. However, but I am going to say this. I mean, I literally just got off the phone with my friends talking about something we're doing. And then the guy, and he was walking back and forth. So again, there's another sign that it could have been avoided. When the guy was walking side to side, everything about him said, I'm about to rob you, to be totally honest with you. Should have just got in my car and left. But the naive is like, oh, I don't want to be judgmental. Listen to people, listen to the thought process. It's like, how do I know he's going to rob me? What if I'm being judgmental? I don't want to be judgmental. He might just need help. And he's, he might. It's a weird thing. The first time, like, listen, guys, it's like 4 or 5 times a year I get a gun pulled on me, knives, whatever. It comes with the territory. But this time is different because I've been warned to stay away, stop going around the corner. You know what I mean? And I totally get it now. But it's like what happened to, I guess because I was a kid that grew up playing in the woods, that's just one of the things that I like. Like, that's a thing to me, for me. But let's be real. It really isn't safe to travel by yourself and do all that stuff. Anything can happen. Says like you wake up in a tub, your kidney's gone. Weird stuff. But it's really crazy out here right now. And here's what my dilemma, what I'm trying to figure out is, because again, you go, are you gonna? Is that what you're gonna do, Duke? Well, no, I'm not gonna walk in fear. Of course not. However, it is quite interesting. It is quite interesting to say, hey, what is are we supposed to not enjoy things because bad people out there? And it's like, no, but we can't just be smarter. And I think that's where I'm at. It's like, Duke, stay home. We got a beach to go to. We got the beach. We can walk the beach. There's so many other ways to get peace, but I really love being in the woods. You go camping, right? You can go camping in a campground or something like that. But I think that I just wanted to answer that question because I know people are saying, Dude, why does crazy stuff keep happening to you? It's like, you got to remember that I wear a Coming Soon Jesus shirt every single day, and it's going to provoke people. It's going to annoy people. Matter of fact, I got a complaint. I got a complaint from somebody that sent me a message said, I hate that you guys are in the mall. You're an eyesore. Your Jesus is an eyesore in the mall. It's like, it's okay to have stuff that, meaningless and doesn't help anybody, but seeing Yeshua or seeing you, that's an eyesore. Your religion in the sword's eye. That's what they said, your religion. I think that's hilarious. The other thing is that I'm not afraid to call evil out. A lot of people like to turn a blind eye. Now, I know there's the wisdom of choosing your battles wisely. That is wisdom. Choose your battles wisely. So that's another reason why crazy stuff keeps happening to me, because I'm always, doing something, but usually I'm always trying to do what God called me to do. And then someone interferes or someone says they need help. Then I try to help them. And then it turns into something else. And then, it's hard to, it's easy to explain. Just most people don't want to hear it. It's really easy to explain. You wear a Coming Soon Jesus shirt every day for 20 years. You'd be surprised what you see. The radio station right here, the radio station. Guys, look, I know people that on this radio station, someone was about to commit suicide. Even the owner of the radio station was able to get them help and walk them through a situation when they were about, at the kiosk, been able to stop right around, 17 people from suicide. We've been able to help the homeless. I've actually been to one of the homeless camps, and you go to the homeless camp and you see, why they don't like outsiders, because they don't know who's really there for their best interest. These are all real things. So I live a very intense life. You don't go in the military and then go, how comfortable are you? It's like, hey, what are you doing? So, for example, like, so right here, this is, I don't know if you guys can see it, the Kid Warrior Foundation. The reason why I keep showing the Kid Warrior Foundation is because the Kid Warrior Foundation, a couple of friends of mine started this because they were, the husband and wife couple were both survivors of child abduction, and they were abducted for years, and they escaped, and they are now on a mission, and we've partnered with them. We're now on a mission to teach kids how to defend themselves and protect themselves from predators. And this is absolutely why I do what I do. Now, many of you guys think that I'm just out here being wild and crazy, and you're absolutely right. I am wild and crazy for Jesus, for Yeshua. I had to do it. No, guys, it's the nature. It's okay. Remember, I don't know if you guys how old you guys are, but remember, like Indiana Jones, it start off, he's in the classroom, and the next thing you know, he's in the Temple of Doom. That's kind of what my life looks like. Not because I try to, but it's just, I'm called for this stuff. And now, the more hurting people are, the crazier things get. You know what I mean? The more that people are hurting, you're going to get crazier things. I've been in a situation where I had to stop. Matter of fact, it was a couple years ago at Greenbrier Mall. I was trying to stop this guy from hitting his girlfriend at the time, and he turns around and pulls a gun on me at the mall, and instead of, like, he freaks out when he sees the Coming Soon Jesus kiosk, he starts to stumble, and he runs out of the mall, and I chase behind him with no gun, but I was filming him. And by the time I get back and post it on Facebook, I'm getting messages saying, hey, man, you're not going to believe this, but that guy. That guy, he just got out of jail, and he used to preach with his mom. I contacted his mom. It's almost identical to what happened last night. So this is the crazy part, is that, my little adventures that I share with you guys, it doesn't even scratch the surface of what's actually happened, the stuff that's actually going on, the intensity of doing the kind of ministry that we do. When you actually do ministry where you're getting, pastors will have the craziest stories. They just can't talk about it because it's private, it's confidential in a lot of cases. But with me, I can talk about what happens to me because I have a different kind of ministry. My life has been extreme ever since, the enemy tried to destroy my family, particularly attacking my kids. That's the one that I knew it was all bets off. That's when I knew that it was like, I'm not gonna tolerate. I'm not gonna turn a blind eye. So it's like this: you turn a blind eye for evil, right? And the next thing you know, that evil that you turn an eye for is at your front door. That's one of the reasons why I try to help as many people that want people to, when they decide to me at me or whatever, I want them to know. Brandon Bruno just said, Brandon Bruno just said, don't know why you're in situations. All right, I gotta let them know. I gotta stay in the house. Brandon Bruno, you guys gonna see this. Brandon Bruno said, man, I don't know why you're always in these situations. Oh, dude. but it's because of the fact, Brandon, it's because of the fact that I don't have, the like some people can just sit at home all day. I can't do it. And listen, nobody goes back here in these woods. That's the main issue. Let's see. Yeah, but it's going to make great for the television show. By the way, everybody, the television show is back out. It's Saturdays at 11:30. We're back on air. My TVZ 11:30. I will be producing, putting the episodes back out, of course, on social media. But yeah, man. I'm actually part of me is trying to avoid calling their mom because I know their parents are going to be heartbroken because you guys, and I know you're on Facebook, so you guys know that your parents didn't raise you like this. I'm surprised you didn't delete me or block me or whatever you call it, but I'm thinking because I know you're going to get in trouble. I'm thinking. Have no idea what to do. Well, I know what to do. I'm going to pray about it. Well, I'm not going to. I'm going to pray about it, and I'm going to call your parents. That's what's going to happen. So when you try to figure out what I'm going to do, man, it's a rough situation you put yourself in. Anyway, yeah, he set me off too, and I hate getting set off, because it always makes me look insane, which is very true. But my point, guys, is that the reason why stuff's always happens that you don't come from the style of ministry that I have is just you deal with intense things. I don't back down. If I see somebody, I'm the guy. If I see somebody robbing a store, if I'm in the store, know that I'm the guy that's going to try to stop them. When everyone else is laying down, I'm the guy. Again, my friend, he says, Duke, my worst nightmare is to be in a restaurant or something and it gets robbed and you're there. He said, man, you're going to try to be the hero. And he's like, in your head, I know you think you're still healthy, but you're a fat guy. He's like, man, you're going to get out of breath. You're going to get everyone killed. He's like, I know in your head you think you still got it. He's like, dude, you don't. You don't still got it. Then I'm like, no one can handle the flying headbutt. Oh, people lighten up. I do got to eventually make this phone call. So, but I do want to tell this to everybody out there, for young people, because I heard one of the kids said it was a prank, but now you made it serious. It's a prank. It's a prank. Stop pranking people. You're going to meet somebody like me out there that's going to bust you upside your head. Stop pranking people. Don't do that. Do not do that. Anyway, pranking people, like, come on, guys, to see how people are going to respond. It's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank. Like that. It was a prank, and you wanted to make it real. No, you don't play like that. You know what I mean? You don't play like that. Nothing is on it. Nothing is on the air. Let me see here. Let's see here.